politician speech, a little bit too long. But I'm glad to be with you here this morning, and I want to acknowledge a number of people here who are here. Don Grant, who is with the Illinois Veterans Administration, Director. Don, thank you very much for, is it Dan?
Dan, yes,
Dan Grant, I'm sorry, Dan Grant who's here, and Amy Smysley, who's going to speak to us in a moment. Before we start, I would like to acknowledge two veterans who contacted our office and asked for help in securing medals that they earned in service to our country. Joe Bellman. Joe, come on up here with me for a moment, if you will. And Edward Jania, would you come up here too? Would you mind? I want to tell you the story of these two men who contacted our office to secure some of the battle decorations that they won in service to our country during World War II. Joe Bellman served in World War II from July 20th, 1944 to March 14th, 1945. You look pretty good. You feel good? Oh, that's great. He didn't get much of a welcoming party when he came home. He was discharged in Amarillo, Texas, ended up hitchhiking back to Illinois, arrived in Lockport a week later, and the only person waiting for him was his cousin. Is that right? World War II B-17 turret gunner. It's a pretty tough assignment. All turret gunner. He learned a lot of medals, but received only one, the Air Medal, signifying he completed successfully 35 missions over Germany. He never pursued the other medals, which he had won. They included Good Conduct Medal, the European Theater Medal, 3 Bronze Stars, the World War II Victory Medal, an Honorable Service Lapel Pin, and a Marksmanship Badge. A friend of his contacted our office in May, and our staff verified his service and his medals. He is a widower with 3 children, 15 grandchildren, 9 great-grandchildren. Said he hadn't thought much about the war or his medals until this year, when he got a call from Honor Flight in Chicago, a group devoted to taking veterans to see the National World War II Memorial in Washington for free. Joe Bellman lives in Lockport. He is a true American hero, served our country, and served us in so many distinguished ways. Standing with me to my left and your right, Edward Jania. You have quite a family out here today.
Yes, sir.
Ed was born in 1926.
Yes, sir.
You're looking good.
Thank you.
Grew up on the south side of Chicago in the Hegwish neighborhood. Still live there today.
Yes, sir.
Drafted in 1944, which happened to be the year I was born. At 18 years of age, Ed started his Army career at Fort Sheridan, then shipped to Fort Hood, Texas, and our prayers go out to the families down there for the tragedy that they faced this last week. Due to the German offensive and the critical situation in Europe, his training was cut from 13 weeks to 5 weeks. He was assigned to the 63rd Division, part of the 7th Army, wounded in Germany in April of 1945. Ed was hit while in the German forest. As a result, some of the shrapnel you're still carrying around today. Is that right?
Yes.
Amazing story. Ed's been married to his wife, Stella, for 55 years. She must be a saint, Ed. That's all I can say. They have 4 sons and 9 grandchildren. He is a retired Union iron worker, worked on the John Hancock Building, and earned the Purple Heart European African American Middle Eastern Campaign Ribbon, 2 Bronze Campaign Stars, Combat Infantryman Badge, Good Conduct Medal, Bronze Star, Presidential Unit Citation, World War II Victory Medal, Army of Occupation Medal, German Clasp, Honorable Service, World War II Lapel Pin. His unit also received the French Croix de Guerre with palm from the French government. Because of the 1973 fire at the National Personnel Records Center, Ed's files were destroyed. Made it a little tougher to get your medals. We managed to do it. So we have a few things to present today. I don't know if they are here. Cam hasn't. So let me make sure I do this correct. Thank you much. So these go to Ed. To Joe. Joe, I know that you received the medals, but you got them at home in safekeeping. I'd like to present you with a flag from our nation. I know that you've honored it with your service and your life, and I want to thank you for all you've done. I'm glad we can bring those medals together.
Thank you very much.
Congratulations. Well, of course. We're going to let Joe say a word, then I'm going to make a presentation to you.
a million of other soldiers that served with us during World War II. We did what we had to do. Thank you very much.
And when we tried to gather all of the medals which you earned in service to our country, it was quite a task because of your great service. But this Bronze Star is one of the most honored medals to be received by a serviceman. I want to make sure that this is a formal presentation to Ed Jania for his service to America. I'm sure his family is so proud of him today, and we are proud that he stands with us. Ed?
I'm just here part of that group. Hey, thank you.
I'm always amazed when we honor these veterans how little they have to say, but how much they did for us. And it's a reminder of what a great nation we have, that men just like these, so many of them across America, lead their quiet but important lives and never speak much of the great sacrifices and heroism that they were called on to make in service to our country. So I'm honored that you could join me today on the beginning of this week to commemorate Veterans Day in 2009. Thank you very much. Talks about other veterans. I know that the press is interested in the health care bill. We'll talk about that a little later. But I beg them to, in their stories, honor these great men, but also to address an issue which is a reality today across America. Today across our country there are about 7,000 injured, seriously injured veterans who are no longer in veterans hospitals but are back home with their families. The only way that these injured veterans are managing to survive is through the good care and love of caregivers. Sometimes these caregivers are their mothers or fathers, sisters or brothers, their wives and their husbands. Every single day, these men and women awaken to a responsibility of keeping one of our veterans comfortable and happy and alive. They don't receive much recognition, but they should, because the task that they are taking today, they will take again tomorrow and the day after. They've accepted the responsibility to care for those that they love, men and women who served our country. Today I'm here with Dan Grant from the Illinois Veterans Administration to speak of a bill which I've introduced in Washington. After meeting these caregivers, hearing their stories about the sacrifice